A woman in Minneapolis, Minnesota was fatally shot by an ICE agent today. Now, this story is still developing. I'm sure those who follow this type of news on social media have come across the multiple videos that have gone viral of the tragic event. But the victim was described as a 37-year-old white woman, and that's according to Minneapolis police officials. And soon after this story broke, we had a little more clarity in terms of the identity of this woman. So she's 37-year-old Nicole Good. Renee Nicole Good, her bio on social media stated that she was a poet, a writer, a wife, and a mom, and that she was from Colorado but experiencing Minneapolis, Minnesota. She is now unfortunately dead as a result of an ICE agent shooting her. Now, later in this segment, we're gonna show you what I think is the clearest video of the incident. But first, let me give you some more context. So witnesses, along with video evidence, do contradict the claims that are being made by federal officials who allege that the shooting happened in self-defense. I'm sure that there will be many who defend the Trump administration, especially when it comes to his deportations and his deployment of ICE agents. They're gonna see the video and they're gonna say, no, she tried to run them over. I have a different take. We're gonna watch the video and the slowed down version as well, and you can judge for yourselves. But here's what the feds are saying. So soon after the shooting was reported, Tricia McLaughlin, who's the Assistant Secretary Deputy of Homeland Security, says on X that today ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. So these are very strong words. I want you to remember them as we watch the video. But let me continue with the rest of what she had to say. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, she says, the lives of his fellow law enforcement and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. So here's what DHS Secretary Kristi Noem had to say. Here's her account.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased.
So you now have the perspective of the federal government. They're claiming, well, these ICE agents, they were in imminent danger. They were being run over. They were being run over. Okay. Well, luckily there were witnesses on the scene who filmed the entire thing. There are multiple videos from multiple angles. I've watched as many of them as I could find. This one happened to be the clearest one in my view. So we're gonna watch the video as it was filmed in real time, and then we're gonna watch the slowed down version of it. I want you to pay attention to the placement of the federal agents. I want you to pay attention to the wheels of her vehicle and where they are turning, because I think that's important. I want you to focus on the speed in which she is moving her vehicle. With all of that in mind, here is the video showing what happened. Take a quick look.
No, shame, oh my God, what the did you do?
So before we get to the slowed down version of the video, I wanna reiterate what we heard from DHS, or what we read from DHS, that there were violent rioters present. Look, we don't have the full context, right? So we don't know what happened before that video or that phone started filming that video. But as far as what we saw, was there a violent riot? I didn't see a violent riot in that video. Now, more information could emerge that shows otherwise, but now they also claim that the driver was attempting to run the ICE agent over. It looked to me that she was slowly pulling forward and moving the wheels of her vehicle to evade the police or to evade the ICE agents. Now you can say, well, evading officials, evading law enforcement is wrong. And that's fair if you want to say that. That does not justify shooting and killing an American citizen or shooting and killing anyone. Now people are asking, well, what was the ICE agent supposed to do? I'll show you what he was supposed to do. Move out of the way. I didn't even need training for that. Move out of the way. He had enough time to reach for his gun, but he didn't have enough time to move out of the way. DHS official also claimed that the 2 ICE agents were injured. Did they look injured to you? So that's my perception of it. Now let's watch the slowed down version of the video and pay attention to the wheels of her vehicle, because that'll show you that she wasn't trying to run into him, she's trying to evade the ICE agent. Take a look.
Hello, my name is Carrie Parker.
Wasn't trying to run into him, she's trying to evade the ICE agent. Take a look. So we've heard from the federal government attempting to defend themselves after this pretty damning incident took place. And by the way, this is with the backdrop of all these other cases in which ICE agents have brutalized people, including American citizens. And we're gonna get to that context in just a second, because I'm gonna show you the goods. But because of that video that I just showed you, the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, I should say, weighed in and said, these claims that the ICE agents did this in self-defense is BS. Take a look.
They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets, and in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, this was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
And as you can imagine, Trump had a very different take because he wants to defend this type of state-sponsored violence against everyone. Doesn't matter if you're an immigrant or not an immigrant. Doesn't matter if you're an American citizen or not. I mean, this is the type of state-sponsored violence that we are now living under in the United States. You don't like the fact that she's trying to evade authorities? That's fine. How about you arrest her? But in that moment, you have a choice to make as an ICE agent. You either gun down and kill an American citizen, or you just move out of the way and you catch up with her later and press charges against her. But that's not what happened. Here's what Trump said. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. I agree with that part. But he continues, the woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. Did you see an ICE officer get run over? Because I didn't. Like, the gaslighting is out of control, man. It's out of control. And this is what Trump does. This is the only thing Trump is really good at. He's really good at looking at a fire and telling himself, how can I make this worse? Oh, look, I've got a gallon of gasoline. Let me go ahead and pour it all over the fire. There are mass protests taking place in Minnesota right now. Rather than calming things down like a leader would, fire. I love it. Let me just pour gasoline on that. There's more. He says, based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive. It was a woman. Oh wait, I'm sorry. He's talking about the ICE agent. It's hard to believe he is alive. He finds it hard to believe that the ICE agent who didn't get run over is alive, who didn't get hit by the car is alive. He's amazed by that. I am so sick of brain dead politicians ruling our lives, stealing our money, and terrorizing us. I'm sick of it. Important to note that the agent, again, was not rushed to the hospital. In fact, video shows that the agent that Trump is surprised survived this vicious attack, got in his vehicle and drove away. As for the footage that I showed you, I want to talk a little bit about the witness, what she saw, because she did mention that the victim here attempted to block the ICE agents, and that probably upset them, and that's probably why they felt in their minds it was justified to rob a human being of her life. So the witness who took the video, Caitlin Callinson, said she was on a walk when she saw an ICE vehicle stuck in the snow. As more ICE vehicles arrived, bystanders blew whistles in protest, and the driver of the SUV tried to block the ICE vehicles. And the part that really disgusts me is the following. After the shots were fired, the driver was completely slumped over in the vehicle, said Emily Heller, another witness. Federal agents wouldn't allow a man who said he was a physician to examine the driver, Heller said. Emergency medical technicians arrived 15 minutes later, she said. That was bad enough. I didn't know if what the witness was saying here was true. Sometimes witnesses, their recollection isn't entirely accurate, but it turns out we have video showing the ICE agents preventing the doctor from reaching the woman who had just been shot. Take a look.
Go check a pulse. No, back up now. I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming, and I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Medics. Where are they? Pulse. How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor. You caught your butter in the face. You killed my neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the man?
So Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty has issued a statement. The statement was issued soon after the shooting, saying she is pushing hard for a local investigation, which is the only way to ensure full transparency and review by our office. Now look, everything that I'm sharing with you is everything that I have seen, everything that's been reported and disseminated since this story broke. Again, it's a developing story and there might be more information coming out. I'm certain there will be more information coming out soon. But I want to talk a little bit about what's been happening in the backdrop of this tragic incident, because this is not the first time that under the Trump administration, ICE agents have carried out acts of violence against human beings, claim that they did so in self-defense, and then later we find that the evidence shows otherwise. So I'll give you specific examples. In October, for instance, October of 2025, a 30-year-old teacher's assistant by the name of Miramar Martinez was driving around Chicago to essentially warn Latino members of the community there that immigration agents were coming. US Customs and Border Protection agents were riding in a car behind her. One of them aimed an assault rifle at her and shouted, "Do something, bitch," before opening fire. Video of the incident shows. Martinez, an American citizen, was hit 5 times. Shot 5 times and miraculously survived. The agents claimed she rammed their car and they arrested her. It was all in self-defense, right? Except it wasn't. Turns out that Martinez's lawyers provided video evidence that contradicted that claim, and it showed that the agents were the ones who actually rammed her car. And the prosecutors, by the way, dropped the case. So the court case produced text messages from the agent who shot her, bragging about his feat. Quote, "I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Put that in your book, boys." Where are all the American patriots who claimed that they would fight back against a tyrannical government? Because this is state-sponsored violence against Americans. And it's been going on for months, by the way. This happened in October. Put that in your book, boys. I shot a woman multiple times after we rammed her car and then turned around and lied and said she rammed us. So we had to do it in self-defense. These are thugs. These are disgusting, masked thugs who are basically emboldened by the thugs in the White House right now. So the Trace tracked ICE-related shootings from January 7th through December 8th of last year. So about a full year. And here's what they found. There have been 28 such incidents, including 14 shootings by ICE officials. They include the shootings of 3 people observing or documenting ICE raids, the shootings of 5 people driving away from traffic stops or evading an enforcement action, and the September 30th raid on a Chicago apartment building during which half-asleep tenants, many of whom were American citizens, by the way, and their children were held at gunpoint. At least 4 people have been killed, and this is, by the way, up to December 7th. So obviously the number has increased since, but as of December, at least 4 people have been killed and 5 others have been injured. So tragically, the number of people who've been killed is at least 5 now by ICE agents. And claiming self-defense, again, is really a big tactic that they have repeatedly used. So here's another example. CNN reported another case back in October. Car crashes and rammings take center stage in immigration crackdown. So this had to do with the case of a woman by the name of Diane Figueroa. So back in October, ICE officers in an SUV struck the car of the Chicago resident who's a paralegal. Now DHS was making an arrest and hit her car. And as they were trying to get away from a crowd of people protesting, which the victim was part of, this happened. So despite her not being at fault for anything, the federal agents, by the way, surrounded her car. And then they dragged her onto the ground. And that's what you're about to see in this next video.
The more you stay home, the less you want to leave. And the more you stay, the
her onto the ground. And that's what you're about to see in this next video.
What's wrong? You hit her. You hit her. You guys hit her. Y'all got no heart, for real. No heart. No heart.
Stop. Get off.
Crazy. She's a female.
Get off of her right now.
You guys hit her. How you guys gonna arrest her?
Get off.
You guys hit her. Who's this? Man, how y'all gonna arrest her?
After that, they put her in an unmarked vehicle and they left her in that car in the middle of the street with the keys still in the ignition. And if you're wondering, well, she must have done something wrong. I'm sure they pressed some charges against her. No, she was eventually released hours after the arrest without any charges. So congratulations, America. You're all working hard, you're paying your taxes, you're seeing your money robbed by your federal government to fund foreign wars and essentially oil seizures on behalf of oil companies who I'm now learning that the profits from said oil isn't gonna be sent to the Treasury. Trump announced this apparently. It's gonna be sent to offshore accounts. Congratulations, congratulations. Making America great again, America first. Federal agents shooting and killing American citizens and pretending like they had to do so because they were in imminent danger.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our lives.